Hey there, everybody. We're going to start off this first lesson of the course. And as we're going to be designing a grail, well, obviously there are many ways of doing this. We could start with a primitive shape, like a cylinder. But in this case, to create our grail, what we normally do with this kind of shape, we normally do this with splines. Creating half the spline and then applying the properties that I'll explain later, we're going to be able to create the other part of the object. This actually is really easy to understand. We just have to go to the frontal view, and here you can see that we have like the halfway line, right? Well, here we're going to be making the spline. We're going to make one half of the grail. And then, well, as I was saying, I'll show you how to make the whole grail. So, to do this, we're going to get the pen tool, the spline pen up here. And as we can see, what we could do is, what I was saying, we could do half the grail, like this, for example. This pen works really similar to the one in Illustrator, okay? So, we're going to be doing this like this. As you can see, we're going to be doing half the grail, more or less like this. Alright, as you can see, when I made the spline, it didn't get like fixed anywhere. To change this, we just have to go here, right here. We activate this menu, and then from here, we enable quantizing. This makes it so the spline, as you can see, will only be fixed onto the mesh. Okay, it'll only be fixed onto the points on the mesh we have here in the interface. If we get rid of that, well, you can see now it doesn't get fixed on anything. It'll go anywhere. It's much more malleable this way, okay? Alright, so now we're going to get rid of this spline. I'm also going to show you how to put an image in the background to use as a guide. Okay, to do this, we have to go to display. Options, configure, and here you can see that we have this like window here. Here we can go to back, and here we can just load up our image. In this case, we're going to go to our desktop. I have some images here just so you can see them, all right, like this one here. And here we get the image that we're going to be working on, okay? So, activating this parameter here, like I've said, doing this, we can trace in some way, the cup. So we can start looking like this. See? So we could trace this with no difficulty at all. The whole object, whatever we want, we could do little bits of it or all of it. Just use it to base your work off of, okay? As you can see, this works in the same way Illustrator works. It's like a pen. It does the same thing, all right? So we do this. Well, okay. Here we can just keep going. Okay, so once we have the shape, we're going to be able to remove the background, okay? So option, configure, and let's take away this background. We can make it so we can see the photo whenever we want, okay? So once we have it ready, I'll change it because I'm not super into it. We can do some more things. For example, with spline smooth, we can smoothen some things like this. Okay, so let's select the spline like this, see? And what we're doing is we're softening the shapes a little bit. All right, check it out, okay? Like this. We could do this in 1,000 different ways. Then we also have this one here, the arc tool. That's really interesting. What we can do is modify from point to point. All right, check out how we can make like an arc shape, okay? In a much more precise way. Like we're making that shape very nicely. Looks pretty, right? So do you. Wink, wink. Maybe cut that part out. Maybe not. I don't mind. If we combine these tools well, we're going to be able to get a lot of really interesting things. Okay, so to make this grail, I'm going to take this away because I'm not super into this at all. I'm going to do it more in a bit of like a freehand way. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to make a line here. And I'm going to start just making the cup however I feel in my own style. As you can see, by double clicking, we're going to be taking the curve out of the spline, but with no problem at all, we're going to be able to put it back, okay? It's all right, it's fine, don't worry about it. We got this. Okay, so we could do this. So as you can see, we can kind of like, we can kind of open it up around here. Okay. Let's just open that up. There we go. All right, now this would go around here. All right. Okay, so now from this base here, we're going to be modifying the points again. We can do this no problem, okay? So let's get each point from the point section, and we can just go along working on the points we've made in this case. For example, here, we could make this bigger. Okay. We just have to select this part here to move the points in a more precise way. We're going to take this point to about here. Yeah. And now, as I was saying, we can use the arc tool to polish all these parts that are now like straight, all right? They're like maybe too straight, okay? Like this, for example. We could also use the Spline Smooth tool, and we can kind of soften the curves, no problem at all. We can also modify the strength. It's super easy. Guys, this is going to be fine, okay? No, we've got this. You can see this, right? You can see what's happening? I hope you can. A little bit like this. Do you guys like listen to this, or do you watch it? Leave a comment. Like, maybe you have it on in the background while you're working or watching on your own stuff. Let me know, because we'd love to know here at TubePad what you do while you're watching these videos. Don't be too graphic though. Okay, just let us know. All right. So now we like this shape, right? That we've made here. We're happy with it. And well, from here we can copy the spline. And now we would have a copied spline before we do anything else. And we can join the splines, and we'd have, copied spline in case we wanted to make any more grails, or from other. Maybe you want to make a feast of grails. So once we have it like this, we're going to leave the shape like this. It's half the grail, as you can see. Make sure the parts get all the way to the middle. But this one and the ones at the bottom. All right. We also have to make sure that there isn't too little distance between the center and the spline, because here is where we're going to be able to duplicate the grail. So the grail is going to go through here. So if this is too close, it's going to look weird. All right. This one's good. Let's lower this one here. Okay, so now we're just going to go to this interface here. We're going to hit lathe. And now we're just going to grab the spline and we're going to put it in. So as you can see, we've made the grail. There you go. Coming from the other half spline that we had. Can you see? So the good thing now is that even with this, we can modify the splines easily. So we're going to grab the spline. And if we move it, look at what's going to happen here. Okay, check it. We're modifying the spline, no problem at all. All right. So this is one way of doing it. So if we leave it like this, it's always going to be kind of modifiable. All right. Okay, cool. I'm going to stop this part here. I've taught you how to make the spline and stuff and put the image in the background. Remember how easy that was? That was so easy, guys. Let's go to frontal vision, option configure, and here in the back we can place our image, okay? All right, well, we'll leave this here and we'll continue the following lesson. My name is Jared Swift. See you guys later.